If you really want to become the most productive version of yourself, you have to understand that productivity is more than just checking boxes. It's more than filling up your calendar or squeezing in a few extra hours of work. Real productivity is about moving the needle forward. It's about getting meaningful results. Because it's not about how busy you are. It's about what you accomplish. It's about doing the work that matters. And that's what we're going to focus on. How you can make every hour of your day contribute to something greater, something meaningful, something that takes you closer to your goals. The first step in being more productive is gaining some clarity. Before you can be productive, you have to be clear. Clarity is the foundation of productivity. Think of it this way. If you don't know what you're aiming for, how will you know if you've hit the mark? How will you know if you're making progress or just moving in circles? So the first step in becoming productive is to be absolutely clear about what you want to achieve. You need a vision. You need a goal. This isn't about setting vague or distant dreams. It's about defining specific, actionable targets that you can work toward each day. When you have clarity, every action has a purpose. You're not just doing things for the sake of doing them. You're doing them to get closer to your goals. Now, this kind of clarity doesn't just happen. It requires time, reflection, and deep thought. You have to sit down and ask yourself the big questions. What do I really want? What are my priorities? What will make a difference in my life 5, 10 years from now? And here's the secret. When you start answering these questions honestly, you'll discover that some things you thought were important really aren't. You'll find that some things you've been spending time on aren't actually taking you toward your goals. That's the beauty of clarity. It shines a light on what matters and clears away what doesn't. Once you have clarity, the next step is to set goals. And I'm talking about real concrete goals. You need goals that are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. And those are SMART goals. You've probably heard that before, and that's because it works. When your goals are clear and specific, you give yourself a target to aim at. You know exactly what success looks like, and you can track your progress along the way. But setting goals isn't enough. You have to break those goals down into manageable steps. Too often, people set big, ambitious goals and then feel overwhelmed by them. But if you break those goals down into daily, weekly, and monthly tasks, they become a lot more achievable. Here's something crucial. Once you've set your goals, you have to prioritize them. I want you to think about your priorities like a series of circles, each one smaller and more focused than the last. In the outermost circle, you have all the things you could do, everything that's on your radar. In the next circle, you have the things that are important, the things that you really want to accomplish. And in the center circle, you have your top priorities, your non-negotiables, the things that you absolutely must get done. Productivity is about focusing on that center circle. If you spend your time and energy on low priority tasks, you'll never get to the things that really matter. So make a commitment to prioritize the tasks that have the biggest impact, the ones that will move you closer to your goals. And you also got to watch how you're spending your time. Time management is a massive piece of the productivity puzzle. We all have the same 24 hours in a day, but the way we use those hours is what sets high performers apart. You see, it's not just about filling up your schedule. It's about managing your time in a way that maximizes your output and minimizes wasted effort. Start by breaking your day into blocks of time and assign specific tasks to each block. This is called time blocking, and it's one of the most effective ways to stay focused and get things done. When you know exactly what you're supposed to be working on at any given time, it eliminates decision fatigue and helps you stay on track. And you have to stay focused. Focus is the multiplier of productivity. It's not enough to just sit down and start working. You have to be fully engaged in what you're doing. And in today's world, focus is a rare skill. We're constantly bombarded with distractions. Each one of these distractions takes us out of our flow. And it can take 15 to 20 minutes to get back into a state of deep focus after an interruption. So if you want to be productive, you have to learn to eliminate distractions. Here's a little technique I learned back in my early days. The idea is simple. You work for 25 minutes, take a 5-minute break, and then repeat. After 4 cycles, you take a longer break. This technique works because it gives your brain regular breaks, preventing burnout and helping you maintain high levels of focus throughout the day. But here's the key. During those 25 minutes, you have to be completely focused on your work. Just pure, undivided focus. You begin to follow a routine that allows you to be more productive. Routines are powerful because they create consistency. When you have a routine, you don't have to think about what to do next. You just follow the pattern you've set up. This not only saves you mental energy, but also makes it easier to build productive habits. If you start every day by reviewing your goals and priorities, you're setting yourself up for a focused, productive day. If you end every day with a quick review of what you accomplished, you create a sense of closure and prepare yourself for the next day. Routines turn productivity from something you try to do into something you automatically do. Here's a big one. Saying no. Learning to say no is one of the most valuable skills for productivity, yet it's one of the hardest. We all want to be helpful. We all want to say yes to opportunities, but every time you say yes to something that doesn't align with your goals, you're saying no to something that does. Think about that. Every time you take on an extra task that doesn't move you closer to your goals, you're taking time and energy away from what matters. So, practice saying no to the things that don't align with your priorities. Guard your time like it's the most valuable asset you have, because it is. I want you to take a few minutes at the end of each day to reflect on what you accomplished. Did you make progress on your goals? Were you focused, or did you let distractions get in the way? This daily reflection gives you a chance to course correct. It allows you to see what's working and what isn't, so you can make adjustments and get back on track. And when you make reflection a regular part of your routine, you'll find that you're able to make steady, consistent progress toward your goals. And here's the thing. Productivity isn't just about managing your time. It's about managing your energy. Think about it. You could have a full 8 hours to work on a project, but if you're exhausted, you're not going to get much done. So, take care of your physical and mental energy. And don't forget to take breaks. Working nonstop might seem productive, but it actually leads to burnout and decreased performance. So, take time to recharge, and you'll find that you're able to work more effectively in the long run. And make sure that you're setting deadlines. There's a reason why deadlines work. they create a sense of urgency. When you have a deadline, you're more likely to focus, to eliminate distractions, and to push through challenges. Even if you're working on a personal project, set a deadline for yourself. And don't make it too far off in the future. Give yourself a reasonable amount of time, but make it tight enough that you feel the need to stay focused. Deadlines create momentum, and momentum is one of the most powerful forces for productivity. And here's the key: incremental progress. So often we think that productivity means making huge strides. But the truth is that real productivity is about small, consistent steps. It's the compound effect in action. Small actions, repeated consistently over time, lead to big results. Don't underestimate the power of small daily actions. Whether it's spending 15 minutes a day reading, setting aside time each week for planning, or taking a few minutes each day to review your progress, these small actions add up. And when you're consistent with them, they create a ripple effect that amplifies your results over time. Imagine this: you have clarity on your goals. You're prioritizing high-value tasks. You're blocking time for focused work. You're minimizing distractions. You're taking care of your energy. And you're reviewing your progress each day. What do you think will happen? You'll start to see results. You'll start to feel a sense of momentum, a sense that you're moving closer to your goals each day. And that feeling, that sense of accomplishment, is one of the most powerful motivators there is. Discipline is what separates ordinary performance from extraordinary achievement. When you make discipline the foundation of your daily actions, you're building a structure that can withstand distractions, setbacks, and fatigue. Every person who's consistently productive knows that discipline is the fuel that powers progress. Motivation may get you started, but it's discipline that keeps you going. It's the habit of following through, of showing up every day to make progress on your goals. Without this commitment to action, productivity remains just an ideal, something people aim for but rarely achieve. Take a look at any productive individual, and you'll see they have routines that support their goals. These routines aren't accidental. They're built carefully and maintained with effort. Routines remove the need for constant decision-making, saving mental energy for the work that truly matters. When you start your day with a predictable structure, your mind is free to focus on high-priority tasks rather than wondering what to do next. Creating a reliable routine can transform the way you approach each day, making productivity a natural extension of your actions. And of course, you must stay disciplined. Just like focus, discipline becomes a habit that reinforces itself over time. Each time you follow through on your commitments, each time you stay true to your routine, you build that foundation a little stronger. Productivity becomes less about forcing yourself to work and more about simply following the structure you've put in place. Discipline isn't about perfection. It's about progress. With each disciplined action, you're moving a step closer to your goals. Over time, the momentum of this progress builds upon itself, creating a powerful sense of accomplishment and motivation. One thing you've got to understand is the value of preparation. So often people jump into tasks without a plan, without thinking things through, and they wonder why their productivity stalls. I'm telling you, productivity without preparation is like a race car without fuel. It's not going far. Preparation is about laying the groundwork so that when it's time to execute, you're ready. Measure twice, cut once. Because when you've taken the time to plan, when you've thought through your actions, you're not just busy, you're productive. Preparation is the time you take to get clear on what needs to be done, to think about the resources you'll need, and to eliminate potential obstacles before they come up. Imagine the builder who starts constructing a house without a blueprint. He might make some progress, but sooner or later, he's going to hit a wall. That's why planning is so essential. It's how you clear the path before you walk it. And here's the thing. The better your preparation, the smoother your execution. Productive people prepare so that when it's time to act, they're unstoppable. And once you've mastered the art of all of those ideas, those philosophies, then you can master the art of completion. So many people start projects with enthusiasm, only to lose steam halfway through. But productive people know that productivity isn't just about how many things you start. It's about how many things you finish. Completion brings a certain satisfaction, a sense of accomplishment that boosts your confidence and drives you forward. I'm telling you, there's a big difference between knowing you're productive and actually feeling productive. Completion gives you that feeling, that proof that you're moving forward. Think about it. When you finish what you start, you build momentum. It's like gathering steam. Every completed task fuels the next one. But when you leave things half done, your mind starts to weigh down. You start to feel scattered, distracted, uncertain. So commit to finishing what you start. You'll find that when you focus on completing tasks, your productivity naturally increases because each success gives you energy for the next. I want to leave you with one last thing. Be resilient. This is critical because productivity isn't just about smooth days where everything goes right. Real productivity is what you do when things go wrong. It's how you respond to setbacks, to challenges, to obstacles that come up along the way. Because they will come up. Resilience is what allows you to keep going, to adjust your approach when necessary, and to get back on track when things go off course. You see, productive people don't let failure stop them. They know that setbacks are just part of the journey. They learn from them, adapt, and keep moving forward. And resilience isn't something you're born with. It's something you build. It's like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. So embrace those tough days, those unexpected problems. They're what strengthen your resilience. And that resilience will make you a force to be reckoned with in whatever you set out to achieve. In the end, true productivity is about preparation, completion, and resilience. It's about laying a solid foundation, seeing things through, and bouncing back when life throws you a curveball. When you build these principles into your life, productivity becomes not just something you do, but something you are. And that's where the real transformation begins. You'll start to notice a shift. You'll find that your days feel less chaotic, less filled with trivial tasks, and more aligned with what truly matters to you. The work you do will feel more purposeful, and each day will bring you closer to the goals you've set. You'll no longer measure productivity by how much you've done, but by the value you've created. And remember, this journey toward becoming the most productive version of yourself is not a race. It's a gradual process of growth and improvement, a series of small, consistent actions that lead to big results. The changes you make may feel small at first. A little more focus here, a bit more discipline there. But over time, these small shifts compound. They create a foundation that supports everything you do, giving you the strength to achieve what you set out to do. This journey of productivity is not just about reaching a destination. It's about transforming into someone who makes the most of each day, who stays committed to what matters, and who finds purpose in their work. So what will it be?